Senator Murkomen.
Now, Mr. Speaker, thank you. Finally, I get a chance to contribute to the motion, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I support this motion. I have served as a member of Senate Business Committee. I know, Mr. Speaker, the committee members who have been chosen, except the ones identified by the standing orders, will be serving for only maybe 2-3 months before again in January this committee is reconstituted, Mr. Speaker, because the session will end, I think, end of January or February. So those who have been chosen by this House to serve in Senate Business Committee must demonstrate the requisite leadership skills that, Mr. Speaker, can give them another chance, perhaps to be considered again by the leadership after February to continue serving in this committee. This committee is extremely important in scheduling the business of this Senate. And, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge my colleagues who have had the privilege to go and serve in this committee to take seriously the business that comes from the members, particularly private bills. Mr. Speaker, I also hope the Senate Business Committee, working with the Secretariat, the clerk is here, and the team, should assist many members, especially on this majority side, whom I've interacted with, who are new, especially nominated ones, Mr. Speaker, have come with new energy, with new vigor. They really want to establish and draft bills on issues that they promised their constituents, Mr. Speaker. I think the necessary support should be given to them and their bills be prioritized and passed in this House like we've done before, so that we can make sure that in this year, Mr. Speaker, we give an account. In the perhaps the first quarter of next year, members can give an account of the number of bills that they have been able to pass. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that the Senate Business Committee provides the leadership on the relationship between the Senate and the National Assembly. I mentioned, Mr. Speaker, earlier in our sitting here, Mr. Speaker, when we were sworn in, that there is, Mr. Speaker, the goodwill of the executive insofar as strengthening this House, and not just strengthening by virtue of helping the House, but allowing this House to function as it should. The Senate Business Committee should quickly move, Mr. Speaker, together with the National Assembly Business Committee, to harness this potential, Mr. Speaker, for closing ranks, especially on the functioning of Article 110 of the Constitution. And the Senate Business Committee should prioritize the case that is before the Supreme Court. That, Mr. Speaker, instead of going through the long hog, we should be able to sign, Mr. Speaker, a consent between us and the National Assembly. Senator Mogeni is our lead counsel now that Senator Orengo is no longer here. And, Mr. Speaker, we must quickly move as a team to sign a consent, Mr. Speaker, on this matter and allow the National Assembly and the Senate to function. And that consent should be followed, Mr. Speaker, with a bill that will make sure that legislation that was being sponsored by Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr. and Senator Sakaja, as they then were, Mr. Speaker, is now made to function. We pass between both houses to ensure that the two houses can work together. I look forward to, Mr. Speaker, having this Senate achieve far much more than the first and the second achieved. When I came here, Mr. Speaker, Senator Gigi Kariuki used to tell us, the younger senators, that, oh, you know, we've been there before, stop rushing, stop running, stop doing this. But, Mr. Speaker, that's not the case. This House will benefit and this Senate will benefit most by having its new senators. In fact, the new senators are going to make this Senate shine further, and we must allow them to think and imagine anything and everything they want to do, because that's how you can be able to grow through tradition, practice the jurisdiction of this House, and make this House, Mr. Speaker, attractive to the people of Kenya and useful to hustlers of this republic. Mr. Speaker, I beg to support, and I wish the colleagues who are in this committee the very best as they serve.
Senator Professor Ojenda.